Last week we saw numbers showing clearly that the economy is crashing, with GDP growing and plunging and all over the place. Nobody knows what's happening, especially Biden.
GDP is going up, it's going down, folks. Nobody knows what's happening, not even me.
We now have a thing called stagflation. Does anyone know what that means?
No, folks, seriously, that's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking, does anybody know what it is? Because I really don't.
It's not good. It's worse than deflation and it's worse than inflation. Stagflation is the worst, and that's what we're in right now.
Wow, great nonsense fear-mongering explanation there. I guess that's why we have to protect our savings with Trump Gold.
I love gold!
Let's just hope it's the metal gold and not the other kind Trump likes, allegedly. So that is how Trump kicked off his absolutely deranged second rally of the day in Michigan, and it was a straight spiral from there. Buckle up and smash that like button, folks, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
30-year mortgage rate just hit 7.6%. When I left, it was 2.6%. We had no inflation. Everything was so good.
Right, when you left office in January of 2021, a month when 80,000 Americans died from COVID and the Capitol was getting raided, everything was good. That's like saying, hey, the car's got no brakes, but at least it still goes fast. And speaking of cars,
Joe Biden wants to take your gasoline-powered cars and trucks all about within 6 years. He wants to make them electric. It doesn't work. You know, if you want an electric car, I think it's great. I'm all for it. But if you want a gasoline combustion, if you want to have a hybrid, whatever the hell you want, you should be able to get.
Joe Biden wants you all to eat salads. He says a Big Mac and fries every day isn't good for your gut. But in Trump's America, you should be able to get whatever the hell you want, as long as it's off the dollar menu. So glad to see he's campaigning on the important matters.
They also want to take your gas stoves. They want to give you very little water in your dishwashers and your washing machines. You know, they want washing machines with very little water. They want to take your water out of your washing machines, your dishwashers. They want to put water restrictors on your sinks and showers. People would buy a new home, and they were so proud, and they'd say, darling, it's so good. There's only one problem, darling, the sink. No water comes out, like drip, drip, drip. And darling, I have beautiful hair, but I can't do anything because in the shower, the water doesn't come out. Darling, I want to get out of this house. I hate it.
Right, the lack of gas stoves and conservation of water, those are the main reasons people who have homes hate them. Not the sky-high mortgage rates or the fact that no one can afford a home. I mean, frankly, as a millennial who may never own anything, I wouldn't even want a home if the stone couldn't singe my eyebrows off and my shower didn't double as a pressure washer.
And I know you'll be extremely happy to know that the new Biden policy is to let men into every girl's bathroom. That sounds reasonable. Every bathroom, every locker room. Ladies, get ready because the men are coming in.
Well, that's interesting. I must have missed that one. But hey, that's great for you, Donald. Now you can go into every girl's locker room for some good old-fashioned locker room talk and grab them right by the...
Every one of these fake cases is bullshit. Every single one of them.
All the cases are fake, huh? So I guess the judge let you get away with paying your bond in Monopoly money?
We got more votes than any sitting president by far. They said if I got the 63 million that I got the first time, which we won.
Well, I guess it's no secret Donnie struggles with numbers. He famously could never really figure out how much his properties were worth.
That there was no way I could lose. I got millions and millions of more votes than that. And they nipped us. They just nipped it. We're not letting that happen again. We're not letting that bullshit happen again. We're not going to let it.
Whoa, easy there, big guy. You got pretty close to admitting you lost there.
And you know, it's interesting. I said it a couple of times before to large crowds, but what happened is incredible. And we could have done something on Hillary Clinton. I thought it would be a terrible thing for the country, to be honest with you. Terrible.
Oh, you didn't do anything with Hillary because you thought it would be bad for the country. But you didn't think this was bad for the country?
Hillary called them deplorable.
Oh yeah, and then remember a few years back when you did the same thing to the governor of the same state you're in right now?
You got to get your governor to open up your state and get your schools open. Look. lock them all up.
Lock them all up. Yeah, bud, keep that same energy for your criminal trial.
He's the worst president in history. He's the most corrupt president in history. He's grossly incompetent. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He doesn't have a clue. He is a disaster for our country. And I say it over and over again, and I have no problem in saying it. He's the worst president in the history of our country.
Man, don't you just love when Trump speaks in the third person? Speaking of love, listen to how much love the crowd had for him when he ranted and raved about his legal problems and brought up E. Jean Carroll.
And he found me guilty before the case even started. He said, he's guilty. And the guy doesn't even, the other day, he didn't know what cash was. We said, we're going to put up all cash. And he didn't know what that meant. And this is the guy that's ruling on me in New York. And then we have another one in New York who gave someone $91 million because they said I defamed her. Because I said her story isn't true, I defamed her. $91 million. 91 million.
91 million. That's almost $1 million per every criminal charge I have.
I did everything right and they indicted me. And that's what you need, especially with the car industry and all of the other things. I thought that was China.
He said it. He said China. Everybody drink.
That was a loud plane. That was an old one. Those old ones are a little loud.
I love how he just turns into a little toddler here for a second. The plane was a loud plane. It was a big one. The big ones are loud, Daddy, see? Love me, please.
We will immediately end all sanctuary and deadly sanctuary cities. I will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement, and we will impose a naval blockade.
Oh, that's why we have a border crisis. We just don't have enough boats.
You're gonna need a bigger boat, right?
And on day one, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history.
Yeah, he just started talking about deportation, so make sure you get the gold graphic up there. We're gonna make a killing. The biggest mass deportation in history? Oh no. Who's gonna landscape the grounds at Mar-a-Lago? Eric?
In my next term, we will build a great iron dome, very much like Israel has, but even better. I'm saying, why don't we have that? We should have that too. We have a lot of hostile people out there. We have a lot of bad actors out there. We're going to build the greatest dome of them all. We're going to have it all made right here in America. Some of it's going to be made right here in Michigan.
Oh, okay, forget what I said earlier about the border solution. It isn't more boats, it's an iron dome. Because you know what they say, nothing stops refugees fleeing from domestic conflict like Michigan-made missiles.
State-of-the-art missile defense shield that will be entirely built in America and will create jobs, and we're going to have the greatest dome of them all.
Huh, I don't know about that. I mean, based on Trump's poor performance, Melania's general disgust towards him, and Stormy's testimony, I'd argue Trump's greatest dome is long behind him.
What did he say?
Thanks for watching, folks. I hope this made Trump's absolutely deranged rant of a rally a little bit more bearable for you all. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below, hit that subscribe button for more videos bagging on Trump and his antics, and tap that bell icon to get notified when we upload. And let me know your thoughts on Trump's, speech, if you can call it that. I've taken many of the inspirations for these jokes directly from y'all in the comments, so I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you missed our top 10 craziest things Trump said in his first rally, you can check that video out on the channel. And while you're here, if you can, we'd greatly appreciate your support on Patreon so we can continue to grow our grassroots organization and make more content to help keep this buffoon as far away from power as possible. But really, American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see y'all in the next one.